Family, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. It is Thursday. It is December 18th. My goodness, it's almost Christmas. All right, and Friday night we got some college football playoffs between Alabama and Oklahoma. Thank you very much for getting inside the comment box, letting me know where you are watching from, supporting Wake Up Bama, supporting the videos as they come out. I really appreciate it. Today on the show, I got 5 big questions for you, okay? So I'm going to need your help inside the comment box. Just one more day, one more sleep, and we got college football. I'm so happy that we have college football on Friday because I think I've kind of looked at this as a bye week, right? And I think sometimes you get to this point in time and you're like, all right, I need some football. I mean, we already know the storylines. We already know what to watch for. There's a couple questions that I think we probably need to go over and maybe discuss a few keys of the game. But I think we already know what's at stake. We know it's do or die. But there's some other questions that I have for you inside the comment box. So all that and more today on Bama Football on YouTube. And good morning to everybody. And man, the reception has been amazing in terms of, Wake Up Bama. That's been a great podcast and a really good spot for us to communicate in that morning portion. So I appreciate you guys supporting that. And every single time that you guys see that, please run the thumbs up on those videos. Put a lot into it. And kind of the thought process of that is to make sure that you have something that is super quality to start your day as we get going. So with that said, welcome to the show and thank you for joining me on Thursday, December 18th. As I always do, we got to update the top right here. We know we got to do edits on the fly. That's okay. It's part of the game. We call it a little audible and away we go. What is your Thursday confidence level? Is it high? Is it mid? Is it low? Are you getting more nervous for this game? Are you having a little bit more confidence? Look, I've already told you that I feel confident in this game, and I think, if anything, I'm getting more confident. And I've seen kind of even the headline that I started out today. I saw windy conditions going into Norman. Okay, well, what does that mean? Are there really going to be gusts of 40 miles an hour? I don't know. But I think when I look to the two teams, as I continue to paint the picture and as I go over the numbers, I feel that Alabama is a better football team. I'm going to stand on that. And I do get a little bit nervous for playoff games, but this team is healthy. This team is battle-tested. And Oklahoma is a very good football team. I really like their coach. I really do. But I think that this team is battle-tested, and they played much better on the road. And so my confidence level is high. But I have a couple key questions that I'm going to ask you on today's program. So thanks for kicking it with me today. And thanks for letting me know high, mid, low in terms of your confidence rating. All right, let's give some AM shout-outs and see who's kicking it with us this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. We got Young C. What's up, Young C? Good morning to you. Kimberly, good to see you as well. We have Alyssa. What's up, Alyssa? We'll hear from you tomorrow, I'm sure, on our call-in show. We got Max Tooney, as always. We have Tide Will Rise. Good to see you. We have Broderick. What's up, Broderick? We have Capstone Farms. Good crew up in the house today on Bama Football on YouTube. Miss Kimberly, always upgrading to become a fan funder. She's such a great fan. I really appreciate you, Miss Kimberly. Chris, what's up, man? You the real one. We got Andy 710 out in Denver, Colorado. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We got Miss Debbie Hanson. What's up, Miss Debbie? Good to see you. We got Austin Cortez in the house today. That's what's up. We got King's Family Reacts. Good to see you. We got Rex Green. Good to see you. Let's see. What does Rex Green say? Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be on the move again, but listening. Found out I don't know how to listen in the phone and call at the same time. Okay. Andy says, happy Festivus. Okay, happy Festivus to you. A Festivus for the rest of us. Did you already put up your poll? Have you done your feats of strength? Reginald, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here so much. We got Bruce Watson up in the house. We got Miss Beth James. We got, did I say what's up to you, Jarvis? If not, double what's up, bro. Good to see you. We got Haunted Syndicate. What's up? Oh, I never seen you before up in the chat. We got Chris from New Jersey, too. Young Atlas, good to see you as well. And Chad Howard, man, great crew. So thank you so much for everybody kicking it with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And good morning to everybody. All right. North Alabama Storm Chase. Here's our Friday night weather report for the tailgate. It'll be 53 Looks like winds out of the south at 17 miles per hour. Though I did see in North Alabama Storm Chase, you'll have to update us. Maybe can we create a different graphic, like this graphic, but an individual graphic that shows the wind, right? So, because I know a lot of people are talking about a lot of strong gusts in this game. The game time temperature will be 50 degrees, which is amazing. It feels like it will be 50. South winds out of 16 miles per hour. And then for the fourth quarter, 48 degrees. What a lovely temperature for this game. I guess it could be a little bit windy. Look, does Connor Tauti, are you worried about him kicking field goals? Maybe the wind blows, helps his kick. I don't know. I think they'll be fine. Anytime you get into that like 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts, that's where it gets a little bit dicey, but for everybody. Like, I don't care who you are. It just gets dicey when it gets that windy. All right. You see this stat line right here? All right. So SportsCenter, they put this out, and they said Oklahoma will look to be the first team to beat Alabama twice in the same season in over 130 years. Isn't that crazy? The first team to do it in over 130 years. Well, somebody subtweeted them, and they were like, well, Michigan beat them twice in 1 year, not too long ago, right? And I was like, oh, he's right. Now, it was different seasons, but it was the same calendar year. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, like, and I've been pointing out, the brand, does it take a hit if you lose this game? Slightly. But think about this. I mean, the last time you played Michigan, you've lost twice. You can't be having like these losing streaks to, programs. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't have, you've lost twice to Michigan. You've lost 3 times in a row to Oklahoma. Like, you can't have that. Now, this stat is a little bit dramatic. 130 years, come on. And think about this. How many times do you even play the same team during the season? Not often, right? Like, now college football, you can get some rematch opportunities because of the playoffs. But, I mean, Alabama and Georgia, those two teams are destined to play twice pretty much every single season now. I mean, there's still a good chance that there's still a chance. I don't know if it's a good chance, but there still is a chance that Alabama and Georgia could play one more time. Wouldn't that be crazy? That would make so many people so mad. I think, like, what's more likely is that Indiana and Ohio State meet up. Clearly, they have the best odds. But there is a chance that Alabama and Georgia could meet again in the championship. I said chance, okay? I didn't say what type of chance. Okay, this is crazy. All right, did you see this? Okay, so this is Miss Holly Rowe, ESPN reporter, okay? She has, like, the keys to Alabama. They let her in, give her inside access, okay? Did anybody see this? This is on her social media account. I really want your take here. So Alabama football has designed these specialized glasses. I swear, you got to watch this, to help receivers catch the football. So Jeff Allen is explaining how these goggles work. They're like goggle glasses, and you put these on, and they like kind of like flicker as you're trying to catch the ball. Okay, that's how Alabama is so rich. It's ridiculous. They have so much technology. It's crazy, okay? There's good technology and there's not so good technology. I think personally, you watch it for yourself. The video shows like what it looks like. It'd be like if you're catching something and it's just like, it's kind of going like this. Is this too much, or do you like the technology? I think it's a little too much, okay? In some of these things, like they're catching rugby balls, they're catching tennis balls, golf balls, they're throwing wrenches at them. I'm a little bit old school, and maybe I'm starting to date myself a little bit, but you play with the football, catch the football, like, don't make it more complicated than it has to be, right? It's just like, I think that you catch the ball with your hands, you tuck it, right? Like, that's the most you need to do. Like, catch the ball. All this sort of stuff, I think it might make it a little bit too complicated. Think about this. Jeremy Bernard, what did he say? He dropped the pass because it was too bright for him. Well, damn, if he's wearing sunglasses during practice, yeah, it's going to be too bright. There's nothing wrong with just going out there and catching a ball, tucking it, and that's it. Does this seem too much, or am I tripping? Do you like this? Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, right? Don't they say you get like analysis paralysis if you just like do too much? It seems way too much. I don't know. You let me know. Someone said, Chris G says no burritos pregame. Receivers catch speeding bull. I don't know. Jarvis is like they're trying to reinvent the wheel. Maybe so. But they have so much technology at their disposal. I just think it's a little bit too much in my mind. And like the thing is, if they're doing this, have they been doing this all season? Fam, am I tripping, or does it seem like they've dropped more passes lately? Right? I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of drop. Look, Ryan Williams is what is he's like leading the country. But you know what? All the receivers drop passes on this team. I'm serious. I'm going to call them out. Lazier Brooks drops passes. Jeremy Bernard drops passes. Isaiah Horton drops passes, right? Like, I don't know. This might be a reason. Kind of found it a little bit weird. Go watch it and see what you think before, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Just looks a little too much. Kind of back to the basics. It's kind of like reminds me when Mox tried to run like the oop-de-oop. Remember Varsity Blues? And what was the coach's name on Varsity Blues? He came over and he's like, stick to the basics. Bud Kilmer. Remember Kilmer? Man, I haven't seen Varsity Blues in a minute. Have you guys seen this? Man, I'm wondering, like, have you seen the same movies as me? Right? Ever since I turned 42, I'm like, man, have we seen the same movies? Are these like classics? All right. Pretty much the same thing right here in the odds. Bama still -1.5, depending on where you look. Okay, because I've seen some other sports books that have Oklahoma 1.5. It's a straight pick 'em. Literally, it's like either way. That's how Vegas sees this game. But the total points went down 1 point. What does that tell us? Well, they just, it's going to be a low-scoring game. We know that. I'm getting closer to figuring out sorry, I have to get my coffee over here. I'm getting closer to figuring out my actual score, which I'll release tomorrow. But it's not a high scoring. I mean, it's going to be something that floats around this 100%. Like, I don't expect tons of points in this game. I would be, like, shocked if it turns into a track meet. Right? I mean, I think it's probably more likely that Alabama scores more points, but, like, a lot of points. But I don't think, like, Oklahoma comes out here and, like, dominates Alabama. That's just not going to happen. So, anyways, over under now at 39. All right? Yeah, see, Trey's seen Varsity Blues. All right. Has anybody else seen Varsity Blues? Did I go too far back? All right, the latest injury report comes out in the evening times at 7:11, leading up to each football game. And here's what we have for the Crimson Tide. Pretty much the same thing. Now, you have the guys that are out, Cam Howard, Ja Latham. Most of them have been out for a while. The guys on the right, Coach Kalen DeBoer, it was interesting because Coach Kalen DeBoer, he spoke to the media yesterday, and there wasn't a lot to even bring to you guys. Like I said that it's like, I was like, should I even do a video? What else is there to say? I did a video just to keep up with the news, right? But Josh Cuevas and Danny Lewis, they're more than probable. They are playing, all right? So they are playing in this game. Spoke about it in the video. Even Coach Kalen DeBoer said that they are playing in this game. And I see prayers for LT Overton. I've spoken about that for several days. We have no idea. I know there's a lot of rumors out there. Crazy stuff, but I don't know. And I don't know if we'll ever know. This might be one of those things that we find out, way down the line, but I don't know. Hopefully he comes back at some point in time. And hopefully he's okay, and that's it. I mean, anytime you're dealing with the illness, it could be anything, right? So that's kind of the injury report. And I'm going to build out a graphic, I think, that I'm going to share on Facebook later today and list the players that are actually healthy. Because I think that this graphic, considering like how many people were banged up for Alabama, people have questions. They're like, well, what about Jam Miller? What about Ty Simpson? What about Jerry Bernard? What about Parker Brailsford? Those guys were like, I still don't think that nothing was wrong with Ty, but those other guys that I mentioned, right, were pretty banged up. Just like Max is saying inside the comment box. Has Ty's amputations healed yet, right? I think he had a spinal transplant. Someone said that Pate has Oklahoma winning. You know, sometimes, like, Pate is definitely an Alabama guy, 100%, right? And so is Damian Harris. And I think some of these guys that have, like, super mega platforms that do an amazing job, sometimes I think that they're doing the work that Coach Saban used to do, right? And I thought about this because, remember, Damian Harris was, like, you know, railing on Alabama. And I guess Pate picked Oklahoma or whatever. I think these guys are smart enough, and they have national platforms, and they're, you know, mega stars, right? Multi-millionaires, that those guys have such a volume that they can get into the locker room using like reverse rat poison, like providing a little bit of ammunition for those guys. Basically what Saban would do. Saban used the media to speak to his locker room. That's what I think Pate is doing. Pate's talking to the locker room. So is Damian Harris. He's challenging them, right? Like, clearly this is an Alabama football channel, so we're going to tell the truth, but we're going to, you know, talk about Alabama football as we see it. Rarely are you going to see me pick against Alabama football because it's Alabama football. I don't cover Duke. I don't cover Kentucky. I don't cover Florida where games are 50-50. I moved myself to this city to chase national championships. That's the standard here. I moved here to cover greatness. I moved here because I want to cover a team that wins every single game. And this is the only program in the country that I feel can do that on a weekly basis. Otherwise, I wouldn't have moved out here. So that's why it's like, oh, Kyle's picking Alabama again. Yeah, because Alabama should beat Oklahoma. Alabama should beat Indiana. Alabama should beat Texas Tech. Alabama should beat Oregon, right? Period. That's the standard. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Alabama has far better players up and down. So those other guys might be, you know, talking in the locker room and they have, you know, larger platforms, but I think deep down those guys are 100% Alabama guys. All right, fam. As you know, Sleeper is a sponsor of this video, and they've been so great to us this year. Use the promo code, which is tailgate, and you get $20 upon the download, right? And you get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. Available in 25 states. Check them out for fantasy football or to make more or less picks. Today, we are going to look at more or less for Jam Miller. All right. So on Sleeper, more or less is Jam Miller at 36 yards, fam. 36. Okay. So you know how we do it. Do you think that Jam runs for more or less than 36 yards? I'll go full screen and show you the data points for his season. Okay. The teal, we can call it blue, I guess. Is that okay if I call this blue? All right. It are the times that he ran for more than 36 yards. Against Auburn, he looked like he was cooking. Okay. Oh, I guess that yellow too is he ran for more. So pink is less, okay? I know pink is less. So yards, collectively, he's had, let's see how many times he's done that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times he's ran for over. Yo, fam, he's running for more than 36 yards, right? I get it. Oklahoma's defense and the run defense is really good. He's running for more than 36 yards. This almost feels like a gimme. He's got to run for. He doesn't run for more than 36 yards. We're in trouble. Major trouble. All right, you might lose the game. He's running for more than 36 yards. This is your sleeper give me of the week. Right? Is there anyone that's saying? Someone said less. Let's see. Who said less? Oh, my boy Max. Max is saying less. Come on, Max. There, he's getting more than 36. All right, and guy, he looked so good against Auburn before he got banged up. All right. Hickman has more as well. Okay. You guys good on that? Okay. So my 5 big questions for you. And I spoke a little bit about this during the Wake Up Bama podcast. So I feel like there's a lot of doubt right now with Alabama football. I really do, and I get it. And I'm glad to see that 89% feel that Alabama's going to win this game, okay? But I think overall and collectively, is it fair to say that there's a lot of doubt out there about Alabama football? Not only like maybe in the circles that you run with, the Facebook channels or the websites that you subscribe to or the YouTube channels that you follow, or like even on a national basis. I think on a national basis for sure. But don't you feel that there's more doubt in Alabama football than ever? Right? I do. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, why? Right? Why is there so much doubt in Alabama football? And on Wake Up Bama, I was like, is it because of their recent play? Like, because the game against Georgia was ugly. Like, they got dominated in that game. They didn't play the best against Auburn, but they won that game. And then the last SEC game before that, they lost against Oklahoma, right? So their last 3 games against SEC opponents, they're really 1-2. So I'm like, why is there so much doubt? And I really don't. I think it's a combination of the recent play, but I do feel that there's still a lot of doubt in Kalen DeBoer. I really do. I think that losing games is it's hard for people to move past. People dwell on them. It hurts to lose, specifically for Alabama football fans, because let's face it, we've been living on a yacht, under Coach Saban for such a long time. And now, there's plenty of nice pontoon boats, but it's not yacht life. But the world has changed. There's nobody else is living on yachts. It's been equalized. But I still feel that there's a lot of doubt because a lot of people don't believe in Coach Kalen DeBoer. I think that is the core nucleus of it. I really do. And the only way that changes is by winning in time. Okay? That's it. And we have Fromm, who continues to be a fan funder. For 23 months, veteran. He says freedom is not free. That is something that we often preach here on Bama Football on YouTube. We appreciate all of our veterans, or if you're currently serving in the United States military, any sort of branch, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for what you do for our country. So I'll always fly a flag for my entire life outside of my house, right? Freedom doesn't have to be political, right? It's just like it's freedom. All right? I mean, holy cow. A big deal. So thank you so much, Fromm. I appreciate you, bro. And then Lag Gaming says this: Saban is gone, so we'll forever be doubted until we go undefeated. Yeah, you know what? You're right. This is the doubt. Yeah, you're right. It is. It's not only the recent play, it's DeBoer, but it's also that Saban's gone, period. Right? And now teams feel that they can challenge Alabama more. And maybe that's true. I think there's a lot more parity in college football, but I think that's why. I think Alabama fans have a little bit more doubt because they do see the parity. Okay? But you're right, 100%. And unless Alabama just makes a crazy dynasty run under DeBoer, people are going to doubt. You're absolutely right. Really, really great point. And appreciate the super chat. Reese Parker, it says, Jam and Daniel Hill will have a big game and rack up the run yardage. Appreciate it. It'd be nice to see. This is the game to do it, right? To get kind of a tandem running back. I mean, if those guys, you would think theoretically, Jam and Daniel Hill would just be so difficult to stop. Like, what a powerful duo. Just really haven't seen it. Okay. We also have my second question is, what's your confidence level right now in Ty Simpson? And I do have to say, I feel it's the lowest that it's been. We talk about approval rating often. We also talk about confidence, but I think it's down. I think people right now, we saw Ty Simpson at one point be the Heisman favorite. He's struggling. He's going up against crazy defenses. And people have lost a lot of confidence in him. So much so that this whole thing about him being hurt, right, came up because they're like, surely something has to be wrong with his back or his ribs or his arm, because why is he playing like this? Well, truth be told, no other quarterback in college football, and I'm not defending him, but this is the fact. No other quarterback in college football has had to deal with the last three defenses that Ty Simpson has had to. Specifically when the offensive line is banged up, when Ryan Grubb isn't calling, when he's not having fluidity with his play calling, and when receivers aren't catching the ball, and when the running backs aren't hitting the hole. It's kind of on everybody, but also, man, the defense that they played is crazy. And they got another one that it's going to be very challenging in this game too. And he said, you're remembered for what you do in November. Man, November was kind of bumpy. So the confidence level is low in Ty. He has another opportunity. And the biggest question, too, and it's not even listed here because I think it's the obvious, is what will Coach Kalen DeBoer do if the offense is going nowhere? If Alabama's struggling. Now, if Oklahoma's struggling, too, you probably keep him in. But if you're trailing or you kind of run into a turnover or two, I think you might see the other quarterbacks warming up. And the thing is, I think everybody wants to see Keelan Russell come in, right? People are ready for Keelan Russell to be the quarterback. People are ready for Ty Simpson to be the quarterback. I have to be honest with you, fam. I think the first quarterback to come in will be Austin Mack. I really do. I think he is the second quarterback right now. So confidence in Ty is low. I understand why. My confidence in Ty is low. And I'm a Ty Simpson guy. But when you don't have momentum with the quarterback, you either ride it out or you make a change. And we'll see what happens. All right, my third question is, can this team – okay, my third question is this. Do you feel deep in your heart and soul, tell me the truth, do you feel that this team can make a title run this year still? Who you got? You think that these guys can really put it together? Yes or no? Whew. I want to give you a yes or no answer. So I am going to say no. Okay? With that said, I do feel that they can reach the championship game. Okay? All right. I see some optimistic people. You guys are going to walk me off. Okay, so we got Chris is saying yes. You saved the receipts right here. We got Chris, Amanda, Beth, Chad, Wade's World. Yeah, good to see it, man. Oh, this is a lot more people than I thought. And they are healthy. They get momentum Friday night from a win. Who knows? What's up, Jay? Jay has them. Yes. All right. Love to see it. Eric Burrow believes. Okay, good. Yeah. B-Rob says definitely can. All right. Love it. So Friday night is clearly do or die, but this is an opportunity to get momentum, right? Wade's World's like, we here, bro. I love to see it. All right. Actually, way better feedback than I thought on that. Okay, so my fourth question. What changes would you make on the offense? What changes would you make with the offense? And that could go a couple different ways. That could be substitution in personnel. That could be adding something to the schematics, running a specific play, something you want to see. Damon Song says, hit the like button. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Good to see you inside the comment box too, bro. So we're on question number 4 right here. What would you like to see changed on the offensive side? Or like added, offensive changes. What's up, Run the Table Sports? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, I think me and Capstone Farms have been on this. We'll add Chris G to it, but I think like Capstone Farms says slants and screens. They have added a few screens, particularly like in this last game. They did some short stuff to Ryan Williams that I liked. And I think that creates momentum and confidence for the receivers and for the quarterback, right? Like, hey, I completed a pass, got a first down. And it's tough to deal with because Alabama has some electric wide receivers. Like dealing with Lazier Brooks in space and Ryan Williams is something that no defense wants to have to deal with, right? Screens, screens to the running backs, they don't do it often. And now with Kevin Riley out, I mean, do you run screens with Jam or Daniel? They really haven't. But they do, at one point in time, Daniel Hill and Jam Miller were catching a fair amount of, receptions. What did Daniel Hill have in this last game? He had like six catches on checkdowns. I'm asking for short stuff over the middle. Drags, slants. And the other big question I had is like, and I guess the coaches feel good with the offensive line, but man, what happened to Jaden Roberts? We haven't talked about that, right? I felt that Jaden Roberts was going to be so those are my two misses this year. I'm sure I have more. I need to make like a top 5 misses list. I missed on John Mateer having like a stellar season, and I missed on Jaden Roberts being like totally dominant. Right? Man, I thought he would come in and he would just be just so dominant. I thought him and Parker Brailsford would be, man, but I don't know what happened. I saw, from time to time his mom will tweet. Parents are, they're emotional, of course. We've all been there. But she tweeted one time, free Jaden Roberts. I don't think he's hurt. Beast in the weight room, but just never really translated to the field. All right, in my question number 5. This is out there. I even saw this on ESPN. They were discussing this. With a loss, is Coach Kalen DeBoer on the hot seat to start the 2026 season? With the loss, is Coach Kalen DeBoer on the hot seat to start next season? I'm gonna say no. I think the seat is always going to be warm here because of the expectations. Is he on the hot seat? I don't think so. I mean, it'll hurt if they lose. It'll hurt to lose, the 4th game of this season. But collectively, the foundation and everybody inside the comment box agreeing, I think we're on the right track. If we wouldn't have made the playoffs, it would have been interesting to see where we'd be like right now on December 18th. But as Coach Kalen DeBoer said in his statement, he has support from everybody up top. Yeah, he actually has a pretty good, while people still have doubt about kind of the program, if they can win, whatever, people are supportive of Kalen DeBoer too. He does have a really good following. And I don't think that he's on the hot seat if he loses this game. I do have to tell you, Michigan is still after Coach Kalen DeBoer. They are. I haven't spoken about it recently. I think I mentioned it briefly on Wake Up Bama this morning. But they still feel that there's a glimmer of hope that they get Coach Kalen DeBoer somehow, some way. I think they feel that they even have that Kalen DeBoer has to answer them by Saturday evening. So I guess add that to what we're watching. Reese Parker in with the super chat. I appreciate it. I think you're talking about some changes. Keep MC on the field, Ryan Williams, and Red Morgan. Yeah, Red Morgan on the defensive side has been fantastic, right? He's one of the players that has had a really big, year-over-year progression. I was talking about this recently. You think about Alabama's secondary next year, it should be the best secondary in the country, period. Because I think Bray comes back. I think Keon Sabb comes back. Xavier Brown will come back. Dejon Lee comes back. You add quality depth with Jordan Edmonds, Jaira Edwards, right? Chuck McDonald, Red Morgan. I mean, come on. That secondary should be elite. So I don't think that Coach Kalen DeBoer is on the hot seat with the loss. People will be upset. It'll hurt. It'll hurt for a week. But we'll move past it. And once all the dust settles, if they do lose, we'll look back and we'll realize that it's a step forward either way. I personally don't think they lose, but collectively, this has been a successful season that is not over, and it's far from over in my opinion. CBS just put out the top 12 quarterbacks, and this is for the playoffs, right? So they took all the quarterbacks that made the playoffs, and they put them and they ranked them 1 through 12, and they have tie at 10. All right, let's run over this list real quick. Okay, Fernando, sure, had a wonderful season. I think he just goes by Fernando. Now, just straight up Fernando. Trinidad Chambliss, wow, number 2. I was a little bit surprised to see him at number 2. Good quarterback for sure. He had a stellar season, no doubt. Julian Sain, right? Got to fix that. There's no G. He's no G. Julian Sain, number 3. Dante Moore, Oregon, number 4. Marcel Reed, that game between Miami and Texas A&M on Saturday morning is going to be great to watch. I think I might pick Miami. We'll make picks tomorrow on Friday. I think I might pick Miami in that game. We'll see how I feel. Gunnar Stockton at 6. Interesting. Carson Beck. How about that? How about Gunnar Stockton being ahead of Carson Beck? Man, Carson Beck had that crash out against Louisville and just never recovered, right, when he threw 5 interceptions. Tidewell Rice. These are just the quarterbacks in the playoffs. So, Pavia on the outside. You have Texas Tech's quarterback, Tulane's quarterback, and then Ty, John Mateer, and then James Madison's quarterback. So, Ty kind of at the bottom. You know what's crazy is there was a time where Ty Simpson was the top quarterback, period, in college football. He was the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. Well, so was Carson Beck. It was like Carson Beck for a while, and then it was Ty Simpson, and then each of those guys kind of dropped off, and here we stand with Fernando. So there's your quarterbacks, top 12. I'm going to do my final prediction, too, for the bracket. So I'm going to fill out the bracket for Wake Up Bama on Friday and show you how I have it coming out. That should be fun. I'm going to pick Alabama, and we're going to roll with it, and I'll tell you kind of how I see fit with Alabama in the tournament bracket. I love where Alabama is on this top side. You got James Madison, Oregon. You got to take Oregon, clearly. Texas Tech and Oregon should be a great game. What a weird matchup. I guess I'll take – do I take Oregon? I'll take Texas Tech in that game. I think they have a better – I think their defense is good enough to win that game. I think Alabama – will get to the semifinals and they'll match up with Texas Tech, which is crazy to say, but here we are, right? So I'll fill up my bracket on Wake Up Bama tomorrow. As you know, there's different ways to support Bama football on YouTube. The notifications, the thumbs up. You can become a fan funder, super chats, appreciate it, and, of course, follow on social media. But now I'm going to open the floor to you. Okay, we've gone over a variety of topics. So if you have something that you want to ask me or something like you want to bring to the board's attention, now is the time to do that. So just post in your question. You can post it like type it like this so I can see it inside the comment box. You see how I say like question and then blah, blah, blah. So like format it like that so I could see inside the comment box that it's a question, and then I could post it on the screen and I can discuss it. All right. So, yeah, I think the other question, like a question that I have for you and that we've been discussing even, since Monday is the whole quarterback situation. And if Coach Kalen DeBoer will make a change if we kind of get on the struggle bus? I think that's just so hard to answer because you don't know. What if he balls out, right? And the other thing is, like, what if it's a close game and neither quarterback is having momentum? Do you just kind of let them duel it out? I don't know. All right. Bama girl, Alyssa out in GA says, final thoughts on Ryan Grubb. Well, I think for now, like, final thoughts, I'll look at it like this. Thoughts going in to the playoffs on Ryan Grubb. Definitely underwhelming this year. That's probably another miss that I have. I felt that Ryan Grubb would be really impactful. Now, I caution that by saying I think I was really hard on Womack last year. And now you've seen him in year 2. That's why I'm like, because last year we are hard on Womack. Up until the last couple games of the season, we started to see him kind of come around. Remember, they played really well. The defense played really well against Michigan in that bowl game. So, like, that's kind of how I feel about Ryan Grubb. It's frustrating to me to see Alabama having the same issues that the Seattle Seahawks had. And I know when you list up, like, why he was fired, we're running into those same exact issues. I think one of the things that's really bothering me about Ryan Grubb is the fact that we haven't been able to run the ball. And you can point to a lot of different areas, but that was one of the main things that Seattle said that he didn't want to do, was run the football. So, look, Ryan Grubb probably deserves his own video, but right now I haven't been impressed. I think that is a reason kind of why there is doubt, right, going into this game. Hopefully it turns out for the better for next season and the offense turns up. The one thing I will say, too, and I mention this often, we're still not playing with the quarterback that was specifically recruited by either of those guys, right? So has Ty reached his ceiling, which has kind of stopped Ryan Grubb, or will we see something different when Grubb is rolling with Austin Mack or Keelan Russell, right? Good question. Great question. Pay raise for Coach Kalen DeBoer? Probably. I think you might restructure it a little bit. You can't have Indiana paying their coach more than Alabama's paying their coach. You might match Cignetti, right? 11-6. That might make people upset. Yeah, a lot of that is depending on what happens on Friday, right? I think if you don't win Friday's game, you just keep it the same. Every single year, he gets an additional $250,000 on top of his contract. So really, he's going to be closer to, I think, like 10-7 for next season, right? Because he got a $100,000 bonus by reaching the SEC title game. But in terms of like a huge restructuring, I don't think so. Chris G says, Kyle, do you prefer Mac or Keelan? Great question. I think the super fan in me wants to see Keelan Russell, right? I'm as excited as you are just to see a quarterback like that operate. Realistically, I was really impressed with what Austin Mack came in and did in the small windows that he had against Eastern Illinois. I thought I saw a lot of improvement from the last time he got in to that game. Who do I prefer right now for this game? I'd probably go with Austin Mack if I had to put in a quarterback. That's no shade on Keelan. It's just I think that Austin Mack should be ready to go right now at this point. They both should. But I always go back to that clip when Ty looked to be a little bit banged up against Missouri and Keelan Russell was warming up. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was crazy. NorCal Maga says, why don't we play Cole as wide receiver or Richard Young anymore? I think with Cole, there's other wide receivers that are just better than him. Although he's a really good wide receiver, they prefer other guys. They give him opportunities by making him the punt returner. And then Richard Young, I think that Richard Young and the opportunities that he had when he was the running back, I don't think they were impressed with his running style. I think they felt he was too slow. I think we felt he was too slow. And that's why he's not playing. I think other guys have passed him on the depth chart. Just my opinion. Let's see. Kimberly says, do you think that Jam Miller will run for over 40 yards and score a touchdown? Yes, I do. I think, yeah, because I think on Sleeper, he's, to run for 36 yards, so I'm taking over and touchdown for him. He hasn't scored a touchdown in a while, huh? Let's give him a touchdown. Either him or Daniel Hill. I mean, you use Daniel Hill in short yardage, so I don't really care, but I think a running back will score a touchdown, yes. Let's see. Capstone's like, we reward 10-4. I think you're talking about Kalen DeBoer. I said no if you don't, for a pay raise if you lose this game, right? You just keep it as is. What else we got? Yeah, I was kind of going through. Oh, okay. We got right here. Egypt. What's up, man? I appreciate the question. Do you think DeBoer and Grubb did well in the pack because of the comp was not great? Or is it just the SEC that is really good and they don't have the guys that they want yet? I appreciate the question. The SEC is going to challenge you 100 times more than the Pac-12 or whatever it was when they were there, right? Pac-10. I do feel that they are having success. At least Kalen DeBoer is. I think Grubb's trying to find his feet, as I just spoke about him for several minutes. Kalen DeBoer is doing a much better job than I thought that he would do. And it took me a while I'm not still like the biggest Kalen DeBoer guy. I just zoom out and I'm like, man, he got to the SEC title game in the second year. This guy's able to win 10 games. Recruits, like him. Players love to play for him. Stays kind of steadfast when you would want him to be kind of up and down. Sometimes being steadfast is a really good quality. I think he's doing a metamorphosis like everybody else. I think they did have success in the Pac-12 because they had elite talent, and the Pac-12 is not as challenging as SEC. With that said, that Washington team was dangerous for sure. As we get more, I'm so curious to see how this team operates with another quarterback other than Ty. Like Ty's the guy for right now, but what's the offense going to really look like with one of their quarterbacks, right? I mean, is it going to look like it did with Michael Penix? That's a tall stretch because Michael Penix Jr. was an absolute baller. But so are these guys. I mean, Keelan Russell, I think he has similar characteristics of him, right? I mean, he's right-handed, but I think they kind of look the same, to be honest, in terms of like mechanics and the skill set, in my mind. You just got to figure out how to challenge some teams again vertically, because right now you can't do that with this quarterback. Right? Do you agree? I don't think you can. I mean, that's one of the biggest things about Alabama right now is they just can't challenge you vertically. When's the last big play that we had? Right? Let me find it, Tink. Ask it again. Just put question. I'll try to look for it. 10 carries, Jam not getting 36 yards. I'm trying to scroll up, Tink. Ask it again. Oh, here you go. What's up, Tink? Good to see you, bro. Tink says this. In my opinion, Ty Simpson's season started going downhill after the Heisman talk started really letting get to his head. Your thoughts? I do feel that Ty lives in his head. Yeah, 100%. I talk about this often because I relate it to golf. Golf is easy to throw yourself off your own game. And I think Ty, just in my opinion, and remember when he used to look at the stats? Do you guys remember this? Let's see if I have a piece of paper over here. This is exactly what he'd do. I'd never seen a quarterback do this. And that's when I started, I was like, oh, man, this dude is, micromanaging himself. Remember he got the stat sheet? He don't do this anymore. But he was like, oh, man, I was 5 of 12. I threw this. This wasn't good. This wasn't good. This wasn't good. Right? And I was like, oh, man, he's micromanaging himself. That's not good. Because now he throws a bad pass. That's in his head. It's just like if you hit a bad chip, right? You start to get down on yourself. And I think he does that in his mind. I think that he needs to just go out. And I know everybody doesn't like Diego Pavia. But I think that the reason Diego Pavia plays so well is he don't give a you know what. He don't. I don't think he cares about anything. I think that Diego Pavia only cares about winning. And he's just able to compete at the highest level because he's brawling, he's playing, he's being an athlete, he's doing whatever it takes to win. And I think sometimes Ty's a much better quarterback than Diego Pavia. He has much better skill set, but I think he's trying to micromanage. I think if he just lets it loose, man, Ty could be so dangerous. He is. We've seen him before. And you start to look to that early season, he was like a young rattlesnake, right? Against Georgia. When he was finally getting like comfortable, man, he was balling out. And then as we kind of started thinking about things, maybe that's when he went when he's been struggling. What's up, Mel Porter? Don't you think that Ty looks like he's scared out there playing? I feel like, I don't know about that, but I do feel like kind of going back to what I was talking about, even like the franticness of like calling the two-play system. Especially on the road. Imagine how frustrating it's going to be and how difficult it's going to be. Ryan Grubb sends 2 plays in, okay? So I'm at the line. And you think Oklahoma's going to be quiet? They know exactly how to disrupt him. So you're going to be barking out plays to everybody, changing things up, right? Yeah, that's going to be very challenging on the road. Rap on Ty says he's anxious from when DeBoer got here. Blissful Love, what's up? I appreciate you. What Ty better than Pavia? He does look scared. What's up, big homie? Good to see you, bro. Miss Debbie Hansen says, I think DeBoer will be in trouble if he does not make a quarterback change. I think, yeah, Miss Debbie, what's up? Good to see you. If they are struggling, and Ty is struggling specifically, and he doesn't pull him, I think that'll enrage fans. That'll be that's important right here. If Ty is struggling and we just ride the ship down and he doesn't pull him, he will get tons of heat for that, 100%. Army says this. What's up, Army? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. By the way, did you know, Army, 3275, I know, because I know all your regular usernames. Army 3275 this year beat cancer, right? Isn't that amazing? So still always think about that, man. We're really happy for you. And just, God is good, and I'm glad that you're doing well. Army says this. Hey, Kyle, ESPN this morning is still talking about DeBoer. I know. I saw that too. I haven't even really discussed it because it's exhausting. And every time I talk about it, people say that it's fake news. And it's just like it's draining for me. But, yes, Michigan still feels that they have a shot at Coach Kalen DeBoer. I saw something this morning that said they're giving DeBoer until after Saturday, right, to decide. See, and Army says, thank you. Yeah, of course, man. We're always praying for you, bro. And because there's a lot of people inside, believe it or not. I mean, think about it. You might see we have 250 people online right now, right? But we have 117,000 subscribers. Not everybody can be on the channel at the same time. So there's a lot of people that I've met that are battling stuff. Like Miss Jenny Cackney. She's been battling. She's one of the biggest Alabama football fans. She's been battling stage 4 cancer for a long time. And she's just battled it. And she's doing well. So we have a lot of people. So if you're out there and you think, like, if you're going through something, which I'm sure you are because we're human beings, just keep pushing through because there's a lot of people out here that are dealing with stuff. So just keep going, all right? And if you need prayers, don't be afraid to ask for them. We got you covered, I promise you, all right? So good to hear from you, Army 3275. And, yeah, I know, man, it's Michigan fans still feel that they have a shot at DeBoer. I haven't even really discussed it lately because I think that they have enough anxiety. Plus, Kalen DeBoer already talked about it. Now, if they lose, will I bring it up again? Yes, because it's going to be on the forefront of everybody's radar, right? Roll Tide Productions. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Roll Tide Prod, you're up in Huntsville, right? Roll Tide Prod is a youngin'. He's up in Huntsville. And he's, I would imagine you're on Christmas break or close to it. You guys are like, man, how you guys know? Like, I know my people. I know all of you, right? I take time to, like, you guys are invested in the channel. I'm invested in you guys too, 100%. Plus, I low-key have a photographic memory. It's weird. Hey, Kyle, how confident do you feel headed into this matchup against Oklahoma? Hi. Yeah, I've looked at the teams. I'm confident that Alabama, now being healthy, looking at last game, what they did right, what they did wrong, Alabama's a better team than Oklahoma. Oklahoma has the edge in home field. Oklahoma's defense is definitely stout, and Oklahoma has the edge in special teams. Those are key components. That's what keeps this game close. Their field goal kicker, we want it to be windy. Look, our field goal kicker, we don't know if he's going to make it regardless. But we want it to be windy for their field goal kicker. Their field goal kicker is Tate Sandel. He's the best kicker in college football. This guy is 7 of 7 from 50 out. So do we want it to be windy? Yes. We want it to be 50-mile-an-hour winds for his sake. Because if this is going to be a low-scoring game, that guy's a weapon, a major weapon. We don't really have a weapon at the kicking game, right? Hacker Music says, if DeBoer goes to Michigan, it'll be because they gave him an offer that he couldn't refuse. We can outbid Larry Ellison if he was to enter bidding. Yeah, so that's the thing. Michigan could probably pay him. They would pay him $15 million a year for like 10 years, right? It would be a crazy contract. They would make him the highest paid coach because I think right now Lane and Kirby are making 13. So Jason says this, 24 miles an hour and 45 mile an hour gusts. That's crazy. Yeah, living in the West, that's one thing that I don't like. Living in the Southeast, we really don't have windy days here. Sometimes it's windy and it's weird to me, other than like an occasional tornado or whatever, which is terrifying. But back when I lived out west, like when I lived in New Mexico or I lived down by El Paso, you should have seen the wind. It was like, it was a whole season of wind too. I would have never been able to play golf. The wind, I've never seen windstorms. I'm serious, has anybody ever flown out of El Paso's airport in the springtime? It's terrifying. Still says this, Kyle, do you think DeBoer should bring in former players on the staff such as AJ and Trent Richardson? Both said they would go if called. This is interesting. Well, AJ just became the head football coach for the Stallions, right? I saw him. I know he was thinking about making a political run and all that sort of stuff, but I know he's going to be the head football coach of the Stallions. That will give him some good coaching experience, right? About those guys coming back, you always wonder, to me, the coaching staff has to have really good continuity. If you live with those guys, and if you're not meshing, if sometimes some of those guys are from a different kind of breed, it could create a different dynamic in the coaching room. Now, you don't have to like everybody you work with, and you have to have the right people for the job. It's interesting, and I'm sure those guys would definitely go be coaches, but maybe something to watch. You know, a lot of guys are getting coaching experience right now at Western Alabama under Scott Cochran, right? Think about all those former guys that played here. They're getting coaching experience right now. Can somebody name a couple people that are coaching over there? Isn't Bo Scarborough? He's coaching. There's a few of them, few former guys. Yeah, Miss Debbie, you've been to Albuquerque. Landing in Albuquerque is terrifying sometimes coming off the mountain. Somebody said something about the El Paso airport. I'm trying to find it. Who else has been to El Paso? Has anybody been to Sunland Park? It's crazy that everybody on the site has been like everywhere. This will really blow my mind. If there's someone inside the chat or on the rewatch that is, I would say the chances of this are like 0. Has been to Sunland Park and has been to Billy Cruz Steakhouse. I don't know who's been there. All right. Yeah. Okay, fam. Well, any more questions? Any more concerns? Oh, okay. Dr. Kevin Took says, El Paso Spring is Yucca Valley. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, Kevin, it sounds like you've been out to El Paso a time or two. Any more questions, concerns? I'm ready. Okay. Yeah. So, Tough Man, I've stayed at Sunland Park when I was working there at the base. Yeah. That's what's up. So, you would cruise over Trans Mountain, right? Were you there when the Diablos were there? Because they changed from the Diablos to the Chihuahuas, which is crazy. Okay, fam, one more sleep. All right, we made it. One more sleep. I got you covered the rest of the day as news happens. Breaking news, bust out a breaking video, but now it's kind of, we're there. So tomorrow we will have Wake Up Bama at 4 a.m., and then we'll be live. It'll be a score prediction show, and then we'll have some lunch, and then we'll get ready for the football game on Friday night. Friday Night Lights in Norman, Oklahoma. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you, Mel Porter, for the super chat. It goes a long way. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. And thank you so much for all the feedback on Wake Up Bama. That has been it's been great, because I'm always trying to do different things. You guys see, and a lot goes into it. And it takes me a little bit of time to put all the information together. But it's more, the podcast Wake Up Bama is more geared to, it doesn't have like all the graphics. It just kind of allows me to talk on the show, because I figure at that point in time, you're getting ready for your day. You're at the gym, you're on a commute, whatever it is. And I think that gives us a good kind of catapult to this day. So, but I appreciate you guys kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. News as it happens. Stay blessed. Enjoy your beautiful life. And as news happens, think Bama Football on YouTube. Catch us on the Facebook channel. We'll one more day, college football playoffs. I can't wait. Don't worry. It'll be good. All right. I appreciate you guys one more time, and catch you on the next.